doing, Jim?
I'm fixing.
Fixing to do what?
Fixing to do an oil change, changing the air filter. I've got a spare air filter. I'll put the new one on. This is one that can be cleaned and re-oiled. I'll save that until I can clean it. It's just like a car engine. It takes in air. It's a naturally aspirated, so it does not have a turbocharger, which is actually better in my thought because the engine's not working as hard. So we'll do an oil change, filter change, air filter change.
So you're in the process of pumping oil?
Yes, ma'am.
Or it's draining the oil? It's pumping the oil through.
So it's pumping out of the engine because the drain plug on the engine is so far down in the bilge. So these reversive units will suck the oil out. And so I have a selector. I can either drain the oil out of the generator or the main engine or the wing engine. Then you actually can, once it's drained, you close it off and you get new oil, and you stick this hose in the new oil, reverse the pump, and then you can fill the engine with oil. But we'll top fill the oil just because there's still dirty oil in this system. I'd rather just go all with clean oil. It took a little bit to get primed, but we were able to get it primed and it's flowing now.
So how often do you change the oil in the boat?
Every 250 hours when I change oil. It's probably a little bit more than like on a truck engine, but it doesn't hurt to change it more frequency. And then I'll change oil in the filters too, or change the filters out.
So you just shut it off to transfer it to the other container?
Yep. Yeah, it picks up suction right away.
You're going to fill all three of those containers?
It holds 13 to 15 quarts. These are 4 quarts each, so it may go in, because we have an additional filter, a Gulf Coast filter, which I think holds about 3 quarts of oil. So we'll pull oil out of that too.
Alright.
But our new oil jugs we'll keep to use as drains next time. So these were the gallons of oil that they used to fill it last time, so just kind of rotate. We'll always have 4 to 5 empty gallons.
That noise means it comes to the end?
It's empty out of the engine. Now I'm going to try to pull it out of the secondary filter. It's in the lazarette.
Oh.
They said it didn't work real well because it's so far back. I'm getting a little bit out of it. Now the marina has a recycle. Oil recycle bin that we'll get with them and open it up and then pour it in there and they'll recycle.
You're just unscrewing the oil filter right into the gallon Ziploc bag?
Mm-hmm. Glad I did. There's a lot of oil still in this system.
Okay.
So if I didn't have that, this would all be in the bilge right now.
We don't want oil in the bilge.
So remove this and you'll see how much oil that the bag captured, that if I didn't have the bag place filter on this.
So you're working on your second filter now?
Second filter, again, have a plastic bag on it, catch all the oil that's gonna come out at the top. And this is all full of oil, but it's already drained. Most of it is drained off that other filter. It's a little bit harder to unspin because the bag is clinging to it, but then I have an absorbent towel underneath it to catch anything that might get out.
So you're just adding a little bit of oil to the filter?
Yeah, I fill it all the way up and I'll lubricate the O-ring. So in theory, some people won't do this, but to me, I want to have a void of oil in the system. Because you could be running, instead of running oil constantly with the pump and through the hoses, you'd have a void of oil just for a few seconds, but that could cause issues. So it's just to fill a little extra precaution. And then also you can fill up the engine with oil close to the dipstick, and then you know you're at your level right away, because the system will be purged of all air. And the oil will be pretty much through all the system, because all these hoses have oil in them right now. This way you'll have oil.
So there's going to be residual oil that stays in.
Yeah, there's usually a quart or two, maybe a quart in the system.
You just hand tighten them, or
You
you?
usually get it tight, you find where it kind of sits, and then turn it 3/4 of the way, or at least another turn all the way. Naphtha Gold is the filters that are cross-referenced and have been used on good filters, and there's 2 of them. Usually diesel engines will have huge big filters, but due to the location and the position, it just has 2 of them.
What type of engine is this?
Caterpillar 3208 diesel engine, and naturally aspirated, 210 horsepower.
Sure.
So it's a secondary filter. It's made by Gulf Coast, and they use them on trucks also, and the theory is to have a huge filter on it, and that would extend the life of the oil. And some of the forums of truckers said they never have to change your oil, and they just use these filters and add to the oil. You're going to burn off oil, but it basically doubles the life of the oil. And some people have actually even used paper towel rolls instead of the filters that come with it. And they say that's exactly what it is. It's a paper towel roll. So I was not able to drain this out, and that's a problem with maybe with our system. I'll eventually get it to drain with this gray hose into that system we have. But what I'm going to do, what the previous owner's done, is just remove it slowly. Oil will drain into it.
So we're no longer in the engine room. We're in the lazarette, which is a last compartment. And it has, what, the rudder back here?
So the rudder, the steering, have a spare prop.
A spare prop.
Spare oil, and then a bunch of extra stuff.
All right. Looks like it's very heavy. All right.
All right, so let that drain out of oil.
There's a pristine white filter. It really does look like a roll of paper towels, but with like gauze, medical gauze material. So we
There we go.
and again, you just hand tighten that.
So that's holding the bottom of the filter.
I thought you were gonna put oil in there.
I am. I'm checking to make sure that center rod is going to seat before I fill it with oil.
Oh, okay. So it seats.
Yeah.
And then you'll end up putting a little piece of blue tape on there with
Hours on it.
hours and the date.
And this one will just change every other oil change.
Okay. But since this is the first oil change.
This will take a little while. Oil goes through the center, comes up through the center,
Okay.
and then down through the sides.
All's good. All is well. Now it's time to clean up the mess. I am down in the engine room. Yesterday we replaced the oil, changed out the oil in the engine. Here are the two filters that were changed and the pump that was utilized to drain the oil. I took all the video from up above here on the deck.